Hey, what's up, Facebook? This was a beautiful day today. Just waiting for my alarm to go off. So I got the alarm to tell me when to start.
It's 7:10 p.m.
Someone to love, sweetheart to miss, sugar to kiss.
Hello! West Alameda! It's after 7 o'clock. It's time to give a shout out. Thank you to all the frontline and essential workers, to the doctors, the nurses, the longshoremen, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, first responders, the farm workers, postal employees, those who work in the stores, those who work in the restaurants and the hotels, the teachers, the parents. So please, if you hear my voice, would you honk your horns, clap your hands, shout, make some noise! Hey Sharon, what's going on? How you doing? Oh. Let me turn this around so y'all don't have to look at the curtain. Look at my ugly mug. Oh, you know when you get old, you be grunting every time you move. So, anyway. Let me fix this thing. Sorry about that, y'all. I should be prepared, but I'm not. Dang, this thing still ain't right. Okay, that's better. Okay, hey Facebook. So today is day 329, February 23rd, 2021. And just look at this right here. As of 6:30 p.m., according to YouTube, those who have died from coronavirus all over the world was 2,497,281. And here in the United States, 514,996. So the reason like the numbers are different colors is just because it's like I'll be lazy, and it's like I just erase whatever the number is and put in a new number, and that's what that is. Sharon, how you doing? Hey Cynthia, what's going on? It's good to see you. Hey Princeton, what's up, nephew? So as always, I ask all of you to keep in your prayers and keep in your thoughts all those who have died from coronavirus throughout the world and here in the United States. And ask you to keep in your prayers and thoughts all those who have tested positive for COVID-19, those who are in quarantine, those who are in the hospital, the people who are going through physical, emotional, mental stress right now and going to the hospital or whatever. Keep them in your prayers and in your thoughts. And prayers and my prayers and my thoughts go out for all of you who have suffered the loss of a loved one through whether it was coronavirus or whatever the situation of the case may be. my prayers and my thoughts go out for you and your loved ones, or your friends or neighbors, or anybody else, who who is no longer with us. So my prayers and thoughts for them. So today, when I say their names, of course, I'm going to say Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and I always say Ahmaud Arbery, but today we're going to do a little thing on Ahmaud Arbery. And Aiyana Jones, 7 years old. Francisco Serna, 73 years old. Kwan Chung Kao, 33 years old. Patrick Warren, 53 years old. But today, it's about Ahmaud Arbery, because Ahmaud Arbery was actually murdered 1 year ago, February 23rd, 2020, in Glenn County, Georgia. And there's still no court date. And he was killed by these white supremacists. It was a father and his son and another white man who chased Ahmaud Arbery down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little clip of what's on YouTube. And here we go.
Year-old Ahmaud Arbery was shot dead in the South Georgia neighborhood of Satilla Shores. In the 2 months that followed, no arrests were made. But local residents and lawmakers protested what they said was a deadly combination of racial profiling and flawed self-defense laws.
When they stop you, make sure you got your cameras on. Make sure you got a video.
Police did eventually arrest 2 suspects, but it was days after this video of the fatal shooting emerged. Gregory McMichael and his son Travis were charged with murder and aggravated assault. The case has reignited the national debate over racial violence.
I'm sure you saw the news about Ahmaud Arbery. It looks like murder.
The American public saw the video.
Cynthia, I'm going to go get my shot next Tuesday.
Of Mr. Arbery's life. Using security camera footage, cell phone video, and 911 calls and logs, the Times has reconstructed the critical 12 minutes from when Mr. Arbery appeared on Satilla Drive to his death less than 300 yards away. It's around 1 p.m. on February 23rd when Ahmaud Arbery is out, less than 2 miles from his home. A security camera at 219 Satilla Drive is recording when Mr. Arbery enters the frame at around 1:04 p.m. He may have been jogging in the area, but he stops on the front lawn of 220 Satilla, a house being built across the street. Arbery glances around and wanders into the open construction site. Inside, security footage briefly captures him looking around. Meanwhile, outside, a neighbour walks from Jones Road towards Satilla Drive and calls 911.
There's a guy in the house right now. The house under construction. 219 or 220 Satilla Drive.
The neighbour waits by the street corner. He will later tell the dispatcher that Arbery resembles a recent trespasser in the area.
He's just been caught on the camera a bunch before at night. Kind of an ongoing thing out here. Like guy like Richard.
On multiple occasions before February 23rd, several trespassers were caught on camera at 220 Satilla. The owner routinely alerted the police. On 4 occasions, what appears to be the same man was filmed. It's unclear if this was Arbery, but even if it were, this does not justify his shooting by neighbours outside on the street. The site's owner says nothing was ever stolen from the house during these incidents, or on February 23rd, and no property was ever damaged. But neighbours were aware of the trespasses, and the community was on alert. Now, back to the day in question. It's 1:08 p.m. and Arbery is walking around inside the house. 4 minutes after he entered, he walks out and runs off.
He's running right now. There he goes right now.
Okay, what is he doing?
Running down the street.
In the top corner of the security footage, we can see down the street to 230 Satilla, the home of Travis McMichael. At 1:10 p.m., Travis and his father Gregory grab their guns, jump in a white truck, and leave the house to pursue Mr. Arbery. We don't have footage showing the next 3 minutes, but testimony Gregory McMichael gave police at the scene, and interviews by another witness, Roddy Bryan, indicate what happened. Gregory and Travis McMichael follow Arbery onto Burford Road. Their neighbour, Roddy Bryan, sees the pursuit, gets in his car and follows. The McMichaels try to cut Arbery off. Arbery doubles back and passes them. Bryan tries to block Arbery. Holmes Road. Gregory McMichael climbs from the cab to the bed of the truck, armed with a handgun. We don't know exactly what happens next, but Bryan and the McMichaels end up following Arbery on Holmes Road, and we next see Arbery at 1:14 p.m. running back down Holmes Road, away from Roddy Bryan and towards the McMichaels. Roddy Bryan is filming, and a warning, these scenes are distressing. Gregory McMichael dials 911 at this time.
911, what's the address of emergency?
I'm out here at Satilla Shores. There's a black male running down the street.
Where at Satilla Shores?
I don't know what street we're on. Stop right there! David! Stop! Charlie!
Sir, hello, sir.
Let's watch this back and break down what happens. This is Arbery. He has been running from the vehicles for almost 4 minutes. Travis is standing by the driver's side of the truck, armed with a shotgun. Gregory is in the bed of the truck on the 911 call. Arbery doesn't know where to run. He veers right, then left, and then darts around the right side of the vehicle. Arbery comes around the front of the truck. We see his white t-shirt through the windshield. And here is Travis, now leaning toward him. This is the instant the first shot is fired. Arbery is hit in the chest, his right lung, ribs and sternum are injured. The two men wrestle over the gun. Gregory shouts. Arbery punches Travis. In the back of the truck, Gregory drops the cell phone. A second blast goes off, out of frame, but we see the shotgun smoke here. Arbery is heavily bleeding. He throws another punch. Travis fires a final shot, which hits Arbery in his left upper chest. Travis walks away, holding his gun. Gregory gets off the truck, clutching his .357 Magnum. According to the police report, Gregory rolled Arbery over to see if he had a weapon. He did not. Police officers arrive within seconds of the shooting, and a minute or so later, at 1:16 p.m., police officer Orr Minshew reports 2 subjects on Holmes Road, shots fired, male on ground, bleeding out. The police took Gregory McMichael's testimony and let the 2 men go. But now the McMichaels both face serious charges. Hi, this is Malachy and I reported this story. For transparency, a note about the security footage used in this video, which was first published by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The time code you see here is incorrect. We know this because we lined up what we see in this video with what we hear in 2 911 calls, and we confirmed the time of those calls. These details and police logs also allowed us to determine that Gregory McMichael called 911 from his son's phone just before the fatal shooting. So in this video, we used the real time that events happened. Thank you for watching.
Wow. Ooh. Okay, so wow. That was heavy. There's also another YouTube video which was in 2017, where Ahmaud Arbery was stopped by the Glenn County police, and they were telling him, you know, we want to search, we want to search you, see if you got weapons. He said, why are you searching me? You know, all that. And then a second cop pulled up and told him to lay down on the ground and sit down, kneel down. When he knelt down, he hit him with the taser. He shot him with the taser, but the taser didn't work. And eventually they let him go. So they actually have the video, the body cam on that. there's another video where it shows right after the shooting, the cops are talking to McMichaels, the one that killed Ahmaud, and being all nice. Well, sir, and I understand you're upset, and, let me get you some disinfectants to wipe the blood off of you, and McMichaels is walking around and all this stuff, and, they're just being really nice. Cops are never that nice when it comes to us. It's like, sit there, don't move, don't talk. They treat us like we're dogs. But them, the actual murderer, the white supremacist, and don't forget that McMichael's daddy used to work for the DA's office. And then there's a video where he's calling the DA's office, say, hey, I need you to call me and talk to me. Me and my son just got involved in the shooting. Well, that DA, she recused herself. She just said, no, I ain't got nothing to do with it. They had like a total of 5 departments or jurisdictions that refused to have anything to do with it. Oh, excuse me. Hey, Dolores, what's up? So, anyway, look up Ahmaud Arbery, and you can see for yourself. I'm not going to play the videos. I am going to show you some of the stuff on there already, and you can go on YouTube and look at it yourself. This is the one where they tried to tase him and it didn't work. This is the one where the guy that videotaped Ahmaud Arbery getting shot, where he's talking to the police. So, but anyway, again, this is 1 year later, and they still have not gone to court. They still have not gone to court. The father and the son and the neighbor. And if you look at the video, they show that numerous people have gone in and out of that building, that construction site. There was a white couple that went in there. There were some kids on bicycles that went in there. And there was a young black dude that went in there 3 or 4 times. They said they didn't know if that was Ahmaud or not. But the owner of the building said nobody ever stole anything, nobody ever damaged anything, nothing was ever taken, nothing ever happened. It's a shame because I've been saying Ahmaud Arbery's name ever since, I first learned about it, and I started doing my shout out in April, and I started saying his name right after George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. But I don't know. It's kind of like what happens, what's what's the bottom line? We're really not asking for a lot. All we're asking for is to be treated the same way as they're being treated. That's all. That's all we asking for. We don't want no special treatment, but we don't want to be treated like we're animals. We don't want to be treated like we're dogs. Now, if you're gonna treat us, and I know y'all don't like me to say this, but I'm gonna say it. If the police, is gonna treat us like we dogs and we animals, then so be it. But I want the police, law enforcement, to treat the white people who they stop. I want to treat them like dogs and animals. And whatever you do to them, I want you to do to us. So if you ain't doing nothing bad to them, then don't do nothing bad to us. But if you're going to treat us a certain way, then every white person that you stop, and I want you to racial profile white people just like we get racially profiled, I want them to be given the same treatment. Hey, Cruz, what's up? I want them to have the same treatment that we get. That's all I'm asking for. I want equal treatment. Either everybody gets good treatment or everybody gets bad treatment. My preference is that we don't get treated bad. That would be my preference. So, 1 year later, nothing has happened. Okay, and today is the 1 year anniversary. His mother, Ahmaud's mother, is like, she's reflecting on the fact that her son is no longer alive. I'm a father. I have children. I have grandchildren. I have great grandchildren. And I can only imagine the pain that's my alarm letting me know that I can't talk too much longer. As a parent, I can only imagine the pain of what it would be like to lose one of my children. And, people die every day. I mean, and accidents, everything. But to have your child murdered by vigilantes, by white supremacists, and they haven't even done anything, So that's where I'm coming from. Y'all. Hey, today was a beautiful day. I went outside. I finally got a chance to wash my clothes. It was a beautiful day. What can I say? And I did wear a mask. I wore a matching mask with my t-shirt. I wore the mask. So, to Ahmaud Arbery, 1 year later, no justice has been done for you. Those people that killed you never went to trial, haven't gone to court. There's not even any indication of when they may go to court. I know the state of Georgia has something called citizen's arrest, which is what the McMichaels are claiming that's why they tried to stop Ahmaud, because they wanted to make a citizen's arrest. Not that they saw him steal anything, just that they saw him go in this construction site and leave out running. Well, he was jogging anyway, but so all I want to say is just think about what's going on, and let's get rid of qualified immunity for the police department. Let's get more mental health resource officers. We saw what happened to Patrick Warren Sr. last night when I did the shout out last night. Let's do this, okay? Mabuhay, Amandla, Hokahe, Harambe, Mahalo, Shalom, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam, Que viva, Wakanda forever. Hey, y'all, please stay safe, stay strong, wear that mask, and let's work towards getting this system changed. Let's work towards, making a difference, because that's what we got to do. All right. Oh, and I'm going to go get my shot. I'm getting my shot next Tuesday, because I've been waiting. Wanted to make sure other people didn't turn into zombies or walking around with an extra leg or hand coming out their head or something, and I didn't see none of that, so I'm going to go get my shot next. Hey, Darren, what's up, Dixon? I'm going to go get my shot next, because Kaiser now, at first Kaiser wasn't going to get no shots of nobody unless she was over 75. Well, I'm 72, so I got 3 years. But they just sent a thing out, I believe on Saturday. Saturday, saying that as of Saturday, Kaiser would let you start getting shots if you're my age. So I'm going to go get my shot. All right? I ain't seen nobody else walking around here like zombies or, none of that stuff. I'm going to get it. My friend said I got to get it because want to make sure that I stay live. Hey, So I will see you guys tomorrow. If God lets me wake up. If God let me wake up, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Be out here. Peace. Oh, peace. Peace. All right, y'all. I'm out. Thank you all for coming out here and hanging out with me. For those of you who did. And for those of you who come on here later. All right. Take care. I don't need a haircut. I like that.